mind whispering. Just getting my lipstick out the drawer. Am I on the right page? Let's have a look. If I've not got my eyes in. Kathy Ann with a lovely red heart. You have got a gold medal. How good is that? Barbara Evans. You've got silver. Oh, I'm on Simon's phone. And Adele Walker, lovely to see. It's a 45th birthday. Woohoo! Happy birthday, Adele. You've got a bronze medal on the podium and you've written all that. How good is that? So happy birthday, Adele. Morning, Erica. Morning, Gail. Morning, Paula and Kelly and BB. Lovely to see you. Hi, Marie and Tracy. Good morning, Liz and Michelle. Right, I'm going to crack on. Now then, let's have a look. Another trace. I've got a couple of traces in this morning. Where's Janice and Julie? Jill, good morning. Hi, Leslie and Mary and Deborah. How nice. And Michelle. Right, so I'll leave it at that. And Anne and Hazel. Right, yes. Tracy and Janice and Julie are just fictitious characters in my head. Good morning, Beth. How are you? Lovely to see you. Excuse me. They're just fictitious characters in my head of Julie, Tracy and Janice. So it bear no resemblance to any of the Julies, Tracy's and Janice's in here. It's just the first thing that comes into my head when I need somebody to role play with. Quite often I role play by myself. So come on, who's going to share it? Who's going to get the gold, the platinum medal for sharing? I know we're 9 days in, but it's not like a plank challenge. You know, you can just do this, even one video. Thank you, Beth. Lovely Beth, who does my nails. Did you get my email? I want 3 numbers in your raffle, Beth. 3 numbers. I'm picking 11, 22 and 33 and I'm going to win. Just saying that. I'm going to manifest it. I did that in Sue Shields one, so there was an Elemis thing, and as I filled it in, I said, I'm going to win, and I did. So Beth, by all means, fill all the other numbers up. I know you pick it at random, so you can't cheat, but I'm going to win. I'm manifesting it now. I've asked the universe. So, right then, let's crack on. How is everybody? It's not a particularly long one this morning. Day 9, the magic. Please do share it. Honestly, I think people stop sharing it as we go on because they think, oh, it's too late. It genuinely isn't. All the videos stay on here. Every day I'm taking the trouble to upload them to YouTube. Now, you'll never guess what. Oh, lovely, the numbers are yours. Yes, I've got the numbers, 11, 22 and 33. Yes, the winning numbers, Beth, the winning numbers. So, what I was going to say, come on, Sally, think. Oh, Facebook has kicked me off. Honestly, what are they like? Unusual activity on my account. So for 2 till Thursday morning, so I'm on Simon's phone under Simon's account, but because we commenters get over yourself, you won't realise unless you're in my private membership when I have to act to Simon. The reason being unusual activity on my account, which isn't, commenting and liking too much. What a load of bollocky bullshit. Because I do love to comment and like on all your comments on all these. I go back in, because obviously I don't read them all on here, and I love to see what people are doing. I love to know that you've been acknowledged, you know, because I don't even see everybody's hellos, you know, like Beth, you yesterday, for instance. I thought I didn't know she was on this morning. Lazy bitch, I thought. I never really thought that, but I had a little whoosh when I saw your name, so I'll give it a like. So you know I know you know, and all that bit. And I think it's really important. There's so many page owners who do lives, or they'll ask a question on the page, and they never go back and look at the answers. It is my pet hate. It is my absolute pet hate. And I know it, and they complain they don't have time and it takes so long. But I'll get on in a minute, but I just need to give you this example. But I don't get that, because that's why we do it. I'm not doing this for me, I do it for you lot. And I love doing it, so I get a lot out of it. But it's like when I used to be a retail manager at H. Samuels, I'd always tell the girls, never ever ignore a customer. Even if you're doing a big launch and you're cleaning the jewellery or you're doing whatever, you go into so many shops and you're seen as an inconvenience. But what they forget is that the reason you're trying to make the shop look nice is for the customer. And so it's the same on Facebook. It's just customer service. And I love customer service. I love making a difference to people, even if it's just a little difference. And so just turning up and doing lives just for the likes and then not acknowledging any of them, it's downright rude, and it really does my head in. So now, because there's like 400 comments on these things, it takes me an hour and a half to go through them all. And then Mondays are worse because then I'm straight onto my membership because I've done a live in there on a Monday morning. So it is a double whammy. So they probably thought, well, who's she? Let's ban her for 2 days. They should be banning the people who don't give a shit about their audiences. That's what they should be doing. So anyway, that's my little rant over. I know, isn't it, Beverly? It's just, it drives me mad. It's rude. Right, but anyway, I'm not being impeccable with my words, so wind my neck in, Sally. So please do share it. Come on. And when you write shared, I give it a little love heart, which takes longer. It's easy just to like, but love hearts, you get a love heart because I'm extra grateful and I want to show you that. Anyway, I'm waffling a bit and I know that might annoy people, but I'm making an assumption that was in my tribe. Wrong page, Sally. Right, day 9, the money magnet. Right, a quote from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. I mean, where do they get these from? It is only with gratitude that life becomes rich. Okay. Oh, we've got a birthday on. Patricia, happy birthday. Lovely. Right, gratitude is riches and complaint is poverty. It's the golden rule of your whole life, whether it's your health, job, relationships or money. The more grateful you can be for the money you have, even if you don't have very much, the more riches you will receive. And the more you complain about money, the poorer you will become. It's a bit like this one. Have you all still got your fivers? So don't take it personally. Don't be offended and don't think ridiculous, especially if you're really struggling for money at the moment. That was us 5 years ago. Literally, we didn't have any. It was just awful. And that's when I did this at a time when I hated it because I didn't have money. I found this really difficult when they used to speak about money. But just please bear with it. Today's magical practice turns one of the biggest reasons people complain about money into an act of gratitude. And so it has double the power to change the circumstances of your money. You'll be replacing a complaint which makes you poorer. A complaint which makes you poorer with gratitude which magically brings you riches. So it's all about, like we did the other day in, was it relationships? You're replacing something. So instead of just habitually complaining, you're turning. It's not about being grateful for the fact that you don't have money. It's about turning it into a gratitude. There's always something, like the last time we were talking about money and we got you to look back about all the money that's been spent on you in your life by your parents and people. So it's making a situation where you can feel grateful. So most people wouldn't think they complain about money, but if there is a lack of money in their life, they are complaining without even realising it. Complaining happens through people's thoughts as well as their words, and most people aren't even aware of the many thoughts in their heads. Any complaining, negative, jealous or worried thoughts or words about money are literally creating poverty. And of course, the biggest complaints come when money has to be paid out. So if you don't have enough money, paying your bills can be one of the most difficult things to do. It can seem like there is a greater stream of bills than there is money to pay them. But if you complain about your bills, then what you are really doing is complaining about the money, and complaining keeps you in poverty. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's ridiculous because like 5 years ago, for instance, I was made bankrupt just through circumstance and we had no money. And yes, I complained. Yes, I complained about every bill that came in. It's all a thought about how we're going to pay the mortgage, 3 months in arrears, bailiffs coming to the door, going to lose the house. We lost other stuff. We lost loads of stuff. And it was just, even if I didn't directly complain, I still complained about the bills and the credit cards and the mortgage and just all sorts of stuff. Nancy's school trip, everything that had to be paid for, how we're going to do it, it's impossible, complain. And it's totally understandable because you're in a fear of worry, of lack, of shame, of everything. So I did all of this, I did all of it. I don't anymore, I must admit. I mean, even if I wish I knew this, I wish I'd been so clued up on gratitude back then, but I'm so grateful for it because that's why I decided to learn it. I stumbled across it and it's made a massive difference. So, if you don't have enough money, the last thing you would normally do is feel grateful for your bills. But in fact, that's exactly what you have to do to receive more money in your life. To have a rich life, you must be grateful for everything to do with money, and begrudging your bills is not being grateful. You must do the exact opposite, which to be grateful for the goods or services you've received from those who build you. It is such a simple thing to do, but it will have a monumental effect on the money in your life. You will literally become a money magnet. To be grateful for a bill, think about how much you've benefited. See, I love this little thing. I'd forgotten about this and I really like it. It's like, can I just give a very quick example? It's like, say, when I used to be manager of the H. Samuels and customers are always right. I'm afraid that's not correct for a start. And you'd get the odd customer in who just wasn't right and they were ranting and and, can I see the manager please? So I'd go out, and even if they'd been awful to the girls, even if they were just wrong and they were wanting the money back or they were just irate about something, I never used to take it personally. You could always apologise to them. I'm really sorry you feel that way. I'm not saying I agree with him, but I am sorry they're so upset. And this is a sort of similar thing. They're not asking you to be grateful for the fact that you've no money. There's a really big difference, because a lot of you will find this hard, especially if you've just lost your job and you're worried about furlough and COVID and where you're going to go from here and how you're going to pay the mortgage. This is if you're thinking, and I've got to sit and be grateful for that, so no, that's not what it's asking you to do. It's asking you to be grateful for the bills that you've got to pay, because they want you to think of what you've had for that money. So just listen up. I just wanted to clarify that. So to be grateful for a bill, think about how much you've benefited from the service or goods on the bill. If it's payment for rent or a mortgage, Beth, this is for you, Beth. So I know she says, well, paying the bills online and feeling anxious. Right, Beth, I want you to listen to every single word of this, and then I want you to do it. So stop paying just now and listen. And then when you pay your next bills, I want you to do it with a different mindset. All right? So if it's paid, because Beth, bless her, she's my lovely friend who does my nails, and their income just dries up, obviously, in furlough. She's one of these she works from home, doesn't get any help from the government, and it's just awful for her, but she's doing brilliantly. So this is for people in that situation. If it's a payment for rent or mortgage, be grateful that you have a home and you're living in it. What if the only way you could live in a home was by saving up all the money and paying cash for it? What if there was no such thing as lending institutions or places to rent? Most of us would be living on the streets. So be grateful to the lending institution, the bank or building society or your landlord, because they have made it possible for you to live in a home or apartment. If you're paying a bill for gas or electricity, instead of complaining about the bill, which is what we all do, instead, as you're paying it, think about the heating or cooling that you've received, the hot showers and every appliance that you were able to use because of that service that you have had. If you're paying a phone or internet bill, imagine how difficult your life would be if you're paying a phone or internet bill, imagine how difficult your life would be if you had to travel vast distances to talk to each person individually. Think about how many times you've been able just to call family and friends on your landline or your mobile, send and receive the emails or access information instantly through the internet because of your service provider. All of these remarkable services are at your fingertips, so be grateful for them and be grateful that the companies trust you by providing their services before you have even paid them. I mean, I just think it's a really brilliant way to look at it, because we've had that service and we just don't even think, and this is everybody, a lot of us, we just, oh shit, there's a bill, oh that bill needs paying, oh and I've got to pay him because he's done the garden, oh and the milk bill, oh and I've got my credit card bill, and we just think about the bill, and we need to just take a step back and think, oh my goodness, look at everything we've had for that. You know, just even being able to run a business, even being able to do online. I mean, if Facebook, it's bad enough I was kicked off Facebook for 2 days, but at least I've got Simon's phone. I wouldn't have a business if it wasn't for Facebook. And then people complain about having to pay for a Facebook advert. That really incenses me. You know, I do pay for some adverts now if I'm opening my tribe or something, or I've got a virtual retreat. I'll spend 500 quid on a Facebook advert because it's my business, but other people complain about it. It's disgusting that you have to pay. I go, hang on a minute, and this isn't me even trying to be grateful, it's because I've done this for 5 years, it's embedded. I go, hang on a minute, can you imagine if you had to do one advert in your local paper? It'd be 250 quid a decent advert, and seen once. How many people have built a business for free on Facebook? I'm talking to all you lot, reaching out to all you lot, and I could be selling you something now, but I'm not. You know, I'm not. We're just doing this because it's lockdown, but this is all free. And yet then people complain when they have to go and spend 20 quid on a Facebook ad because Facebook changed the algorithms. It's a nonsense. It really is, and that's just not being grateful for what they've had in the past, or the principle's the same. So ever since I discovered the phenomenal power of gratitude, I write, and this is what I did, this is what started to change my life 5 years ago. I write the magic words thank you and paid on every single bill I pay, and I never miss a single one. At the beginning, when I didn't have the money to pay a bill, I would still use gratitude's magical power and would instead write across the bill, thank you for the money. Then when I had the money to pay it, I would add, thank you, paid. So when you get a bill in and you pay it, oh, bloody hell, that's left me short. How am I going to do that? Just write, thank you, paid. And quite often a bill comes in, I mean, I didn't have the money loads of times. That's why we got so badly in debt, and with the arrears in the mortgage, you know, we got the statements coming in. And I just used to panic and cry and not open them and get all anxious when the door went. It was just awful. And then I did start doing this. I started to write thank you on the credit card bills, you know, and it just changes your mindset, which I know sounds ridiculous, but bear with me. So today you're going to do the same. So I want all of you to do this if you're struggling to pay stuff. Or even if you're not struggling, you know, just do it anyway. Take any currently unpaid bills you have and use gratitude's magical power by writing across them, these are unpaid bills, thank you for the money. Even if can't pay them yet, write thank you for the money across the bill, and feel grateful for having the money to pay the bill, whether you have it or not. If you receive and pay most of your bills online, then when you receive an online bill, you're listening, Beth? And everybody else, I'm only using Beth because she said she's paying her bills online. Then when you receive an online bill, Beth, I want you to forward it to yourself on an email and write in the subject line, so forward your bill on an email to yourself, bear with, and write in the subject line in capital letters, thank you for the money. I know you'll think I'm mad, but I'm going to check that you've done this, Beth. So any online bills that you get and they're creating anxiety and you haven't got the money to pay, or you have got the money to pay, but I want you to forward it to yourself, thank you for the money in the subject line, and then you'll receive it. That's what I want you all to do. Next, this is everybody, find 10 bills you've paid in the past. 10. And write across the front of each one the magic words, these ones that you've already paid, thank you, paid. As you write on each paid bill, feel as grateful as you possibly can that you had the money to pay the bill. The more gratitude you can harness and really feel the bills that you've paid, the more money you will magically magnetise to you. From this day forward, you could make it your regular practice that whenever you pay a bill, you just briefly think about the great service that you've received from that bill as you pay it, and write across the face of the bill the magic words, thank you, paid. And if you don't have the money to pay a bill, use gratitude's magical power and write, thank you for the money. And feel as if you're saying thank you because you have the money already to pay the bill, even if you haven't. It's all about doing it in the present tense. So if you've got the money to pay the bill, even if you've skint and you're tight, but you've got the money to pay the bill, write thank you, paid. If you can't pay the bill just yet, which happens, it used to happen to me all the time. Fortunately, I'm not in that position anymore, and I can't tell you how grateful I am, but I have worked my arse off. I've absolutely worked my arse off because the fear of being in that position that it created, I don't ever want it to happen again. So I am a lot more grateful than I ever used to be. So if you're struggling to pay and you can't pay it just yet, just say thank you for the money. And then once you've paid it, say thank you, paid. And any online bills, email them to yourself. Create a little folder. Create a little folder that you can put them in. And each title will be saying thank you for the money. So I know it seems mad for some people, this, but honestly, what have you got to lose? Because when we were in the thick of our shit, which was all I woke up worrying, I went to bed worrying, I didn't begrudge other people, got jealous and envious of other people who didn't have money worries. And I think, what must they talk about? And you obviously don't know what's going on in people's lives, but when you're in the thick of it and you're worried, you make assumptions about everybody else's life, that they have perfect lives, that they have nothing going on, and you're just in your bubble of fear and crap, and you don't know how you're going to manage because Christmas is coming, and we had 11 mortgages to be paying on properties that we had, and we ended up losing them all. They were all taken off us. It was just a horrible time, and the shame that you feel on top of that. And the last thing I wanted to do was say bloody thank you right off. I tell you, I didn't feel thanks for anything. But I'm listening to The Secret again at the moment, which is Rhonda Byrne's first book on Audible. I encourage any of you to do it, all of you, to listen to The Secret. I don't mean the new film on Netflix, I mean listening to The Secret. It's a lot better than the old film, and I think even reading it, listening to it, I think is the best way. I walked half an hour yesterday, I just had it in my head, I just play it wherever it is, it doesn't matter. And they were talking about the money one, and this is the one I remember, and she doesn't have this exercise in here, but another exercise you can do around money. So everybody, if you've got a bill, rather than just doing this as well, she used to say add an extra nought on. So if you had £130 credit card bill or £130 school trip thing to pay, you write a nought on and say thank you, and you treat it as a cheque. So it becomes £1,300, thank you, you know. So let's have a look. I pay all my bills by direct debit, so how would I do this? Do you know what? I don't, whether you send, I don't know whether you look onto your direct debit account, you'll still have a statement, Cindy. Obviously, people still have statements. You can get an online statement. Send the online statement to yourself. Send it to yourself. Thank you for the money. And do that, because obviously we can all access your statements. You legally have to have access to those. Although I never can. You forget your passwords, don't you? Yes, absolutely brilliant, Trace. That's perfect. That's what I used to do, because this was 5 years ago when I was going through mine, and we used to get everything through the post because I wanted paper copies. So as soon as I got a statement from the bank, if it's, I'd say thank you for the money. If it was a bill, I'd write an extra note on and say thank you. So, and if you've paid it, right, paid, and thank you. And it really does change. But also what I want you to remember to do before you pay a bill, the usual thing is when you get a bill through the door or online or your mobile phone bill, you know, how many of us complain, oh God, my mobile phone bill's expensive this month. That's because you're on to Janice in France. You know, Janice was having a hard time and you had a lovely night with her one night supporting her. And that's why, because you phoned her on your mobile. So instead of complaining that your bill's high, thank you that I've been able to phone Janice when she needed me in France. You know, so I just want you to think, because this is just another awareness tool, another awareness trick, because you will automatically default into, oh, bloody hell, I've got that to pay. And then you start arguing with your other half, and then you start snapping at the children, and then you look in the mirror and you go, fat bitch to yourself, and then you eat 10 bags of crisps because you feel rubbish, because all this anxiety that's created. So as soon as you get something through the post, look at me with my 100 juice recipes, pretend it's a bill through the post, and it's a brown envelope. I used to shit myself at the sign of a brown envelope. I used to have to see it on the door and I go, oh my God, what's this? And I still now, 5 years later, get anxious when the door goes. I still don't like answering the phone if I don't know the telephone number. When the door goes, even now, I still get anxious. I go, the doorbell, and please, and I go up gingerly thinking, who is it? Do I know them? Because the fear that was created was awful. But the amount of bills that were on the floor and demands and court case summonses, and it was just awful, all the official letters. But if you get something in through the post and it's a bill, open it up, tax or council tax, for instance, you know, we were way behind on that, always getting threatening court letters, county court judgments, the lot, because we just didn't have anything. It was awful. But if you just get a normal council tax bill, because they look scary as well, don't they? And you just think, right, write on it, even if you've no money and Christmas is coming and your partner's just lost the job and you've not worked or you've lost your job, it's easy to go, oh my God, are we going to pay this? This is ridiculous, and I don't know when, and we don't know when COVID's going to be over. Just go, council tax. Oh, all the rubbish they've taken away, all the stuff, all the streets, you know, the road sweeper at the bottom of the road stop. I know it's really hard, but immediately, if you find yourself having a bitch and moan, what have you had for that bill? Immediately go into what have you had, and it will immediately just stop that anxiety train. I promise it works, because I've done it. It was life-changing for me, this sort of stuff. I really struggled at first, I'll be honest. I thought, what a lot of hocus pocus. But I stuck with it. So we're nearly done. Feeling gratitude for the money that you've already paid out guarantees you will receive more. Gratitude is like a magnetic golden thread attached to your money. So when you pay money out, the money always returns to you. Sometimes equally, sometimes tenfold, sometimes 100-fold. The abundance you receive back depends not on how much money you give, but on how much gratitude you give. You could have so much gratitude when you pay a bill for $50 that you could receive back hundreds of dollars. So it's not about how much money you give to give back, it's how grateful you constantly feel. And don't just be great. There's no point doing it with one letter and go, oh, I'm so grateful for this, and this, and then go and forget and then not do it. It doesn't work like that. You've got to continually do it with anything. You've got to continually write your 10 gratitudes for 28 days. You've got to continually, check your £5 note and say thank you for all the money I've been given throughout my life. You've got to continually say to yourself, the greatest wealth is health. You've got to continually get your stone at night and lie in bed. And what was your favourite memory of the day, even though you had shitloads of bills and you had a visit from the bailiffs? What was your favourite memory of the day? Because let me tell you, when we had a visit from the bailiffs, I will never ever forget. We used to get a lot, and it was round about Christmas time. So this time, 5 years ago. And I remember one particular time, and I was just a depressed, anxious pisshead. I was drinking far too much to try and numb it all. And I remember I'd made my own Christmas wreath. because I used to love doing that. So it didn't cost me anything. I'd go to the wards. I'd already had this ring, and I was titivating at the door, and this big white van pulled up. And oh my God, and I was doing that, and I just saw them on the drive, and this man in a big black coat, it was like one of the programmes on telly, you know, Payer, whatever they call it, with the bailiffs. There was a big burly man, typical bailiff, stereotype, and then there's a woman next to him, both with they looked like a couple of bouncers, but she was quite petite. And I'll never forget it, and the gratitude I have for this lady. And she walked, and we were 3 months in arrears on the mortgage. Nothing had been paid for ages. It was horrible. And I know it's not a life-threatening illness, but it felt like it, I tell you. And I was titivating this wreath, and they walked down the drive, and I just heart went. And as she walked, she came up and she just said under her voice, "You don't have to let us in." And she just said it really quietly, knowingly. She says, "You don't have to let us in." And I'll never, ever forget the kindness of her under those difficult situations, how kind she was. And doing this, I know it seems ridiculous in a time like that, but honestly, I cannot tell you how much it helped to just start being grateful for everything. I'm still so grateful to her to this day, because I'd have let them in, and once you let them in, then next time they can just come in. Yes, so I think that's it. We had to... Oh, I can't... Let's have a look. I need to have... Thanks, I'm loving this. So good to do it with everyone. Isn't it, Paula? No, Paula, you've done it. You've done it when we've been in the tribe. We did it when the tribe first opened. I did it every day, not every week, for 28 weeks on a Monday morning. But I know, Paula, you've done it again since, haven't you? But it's so lovely doing it with everybody. Like, there's 200 people on here, all feeling the same. So now we know, even like, I know Beth won't mind me sharing, because she said it on here, you know, she'll be doing her bills and stuff, and it's a worrying time because she works for herself and she's in the small percentage of people that gets no government help. You know, it's a bummer, but I know she's a grateful person as well, so she'll have a head start above a lot of people. But doing these extra little things, I'll be checking the bills when I go. I'm booked in for the beginning of December. I'll be asking her about it. But knowing that everybody's doing it and seeing the comments that other people understand, if we didn't have bills, we would all be camping. Wouldn't we just, Sharon? We would. Okay, we wouldn't have a house, we wouldn't have anything, you know, the stuff, because I am so heightened to gratitude at the moment. Literally, I'm looking at everything, looking at that. I've had that for years. I've bought that. There's been a time where I've had enough money to buy that fun little grater. It's not a cheese grater, it's my Parmesan grater, or when I want fine cheese. And every day as I'm walking, coming from upstairs to downstairs, and I walk down the stairs, I'm feeling the carpet underneath my feet, and I'm saying, thank you. We've bought that carpet. We don't owe money on it. It's not on a credit card. We have bought it. I've bought this big salt, you know, I've bought this hot water bottle from the White Company. I love it. Simon got it me for Christmas last year. He bought it. Wasn't on a credit card. Everything that you have in your home is yours for a lot of people, especially if you've had it for years and years. So just give yourself a break, and you've done so well. I know that sounds ridiculous because you bloody bought a hot water bottle, but it's so easy to get into an attitude of lack and an attitude of wanting and seeking and needing. And because I've done it, I've done both. I've lived my life both ways. And I tell you, this way is so much less anxiety creating. But I'm thankful now that I went through all that shit, because I honestly believe if I'd not gone through all that 3 years, it was about 3 or 4 years of stress, of awfulness, because there was so much other stuff around it going on. And if I hadn't have been through that, I would never have seeked out this. I wouldn't have been open to it, so I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't think obviously, it's a lovely sunny day. I'd be that sort of grateful person. Oh, isn't it a lovely day? Oh, I like being out. Oh, thanks for the Christmas present. I'd be that sort of what I call superficial gratitude. That'd be me for the rest of my life. But no, I literally, it just comes. And this has just been a great reminder. So I hope that helps. So the two things to say: thank you for the money, and we're going to say that together now as we leave. That's when you say, when you can't pay, thank you for the money. And it just, even if you haven't got the money, say thank you for the money. And every time you pay a bill, thank you, paid. And just think, as you're paying it, what service have you had for that bill? What have you had for it? Because there'll be something, because why would you get a bill? There'll be something you've had. You might not feel like it. If it's council tax or a mortgage or the bloody rent, the bloody rent's due. Yes. And you've had 4 weeks of living there, with a roof over your head. So it's just to be grateful for that. And remember, if you do them online, email them to yourself and say thank you for the money. Right, so everybody, 189 of us still after 3. I want us all to say out loud, if you can, if it's convenient, thank you for the money. Because we've all got it. Look, just have a look round you now. All of you, 191 of you, 193 the back up. Wherever you sat, wherever you're walking, if you're out walking, you'll have clothes on. You'll have a ring on your finger. You might have a watch on. You might have an Apple Watch. You might have a, cheap second-hand £2 Casio. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The cost of it is irrelevant. Whatever you are, whether you're out or whether you're sat holding a cup, look around in your surroundings. Just look at everything. And after 3, I want us to say thank you for the money and appreciate everything that we have. So after 3, this is all of us. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the money. And feel it. Feel it right here. Because we've got a lot to be thankful for. Okay. I know some of you might think I've lost the plot. And when I do stuff like this, I'll get trolled a little bit, but I'm not bothered because I believe in it, because I've done it and I know it works. And it's a lot nicer feeling like that than it is being anxious and worried. And when you're feeling like that, got a little whoosh, thank you for the money. You cannot feel that and feel pissed off at the same time. You cannot feel that and feel anxious and scared at the same time. And when you feel that, you feel better. So the more you can get that feeling into your bones, into your skin, into your cells, the better it's going to be. And then the more grateful you'll be. It's a whole beautiful circle. So look at the time. I've gone on this morning. Right, I've got all these comments to catch up on. Facebook better not chuck Simon off. I'm not allowed back on till Thursday morning at 8 minutes past 8. So there's Beth. Thank you for the money, Beth. Brilliant. Well, she'll be getting 30 quid off me today because she's doing a raffle. Beth, do you know what I'd do if I was you? Because I'd strongly advise you do this. I notice you've got 50 squares. I'd put them up to 100, Beth. Honestly, you will sell them. Put your squares up to 100. She's giving away, anybody local on, Beth's giving away 3 free nail treatments all at once to one person. And I think it's a brilliant idea. I absolutely think it's brilliant. I'd put them up to 100, Beth. They all went last time. They all went. Say they've got 2 weeks in which to get the numbers. Put them up to 100. 100 squares available. Come on and give 3 away. How's that? I bet she'll go, oh, I can't do that. You bloody can, love. So come on. Because you're attracting it in then, So it only costs people a tenner. But they might win nearly 100 quid's worth of nails. So it's a win-win. It's an absolute win-win. So who reckons Beth should put her squares up to 100? She's selling 50 squares. I think she should put them up to 100. Come on, say yes. If anybody thinks Beth can sell 100 squares, say yes. Go on, yes, Beth. Yes, Beth. Look at all these love hearts coming for you, Beth. She might have gone. She might have gone to have a toast. I don't know. Go for it, Beth. Come on. And yes, Dawn Almond says yes. And Dawn, I tell you, she's just... Tracy Johnson, yes, Beth. Yes, Beth. Come on. And I'm going to let you know if she does it. She might not. So Diane Green says yes. Yes, Beth should. Are you still on, Beth? She's a Sue White, yes, capital letters. Patricia, and it's her birthday. Jackie Vincent, come on. Yes, Beth, do it. I mean, how good does this feel? All focusing on it, all focusing. So I need to message her. She might, oh, there she's, stop, it's making me emotional. Good on you. So I want to see those squares going up to 100. And Beth, you might tell me to mind my own business, but if you don't do it, then I'm going to put it on me. I've not been on Insta stories for ages because I'm not just in the right headspace. But if you don't do it, Beth, I'm going to come back onto Insta stories and I'm going to do it for you. All right then, 100 squares. Okay, lots of love, everybody. Thank you for the support. Thank you for giving Beth that. People say you can't create community online, and this is an open page. Imagine what this is like in the tribe where it's closed. I'd love closed groups because it's different again. Thank you for holding this space for us, Sally. I am truly blessed to have the money and things I have. When you have been in real debt and had to feed your child and pay the bills with nothing at all left in your purse, you understand why this gratitude is vitally important. Obviously, Tara, I assume you're speaking from experience there. I can absolutely hear it in your message. Yeah, so those that are saying yes, bid a number. You can gift them. So yeah, but it's a bit far to come up from Milton Keynes for the nails. So have a great day, everybody. Please share it. It makes such a difference. I'm truly, truly grateful. And I don't like talking for this long because people who just sit, I'm not listening to that for 40 minutes, not knowing that it's gratitude gold in the video. It's gratitude gold. All right then, everybody. Lots of love, and I will see you tomorrow. 7 a.m. It's my favourite one tomorrow. One of my favourite ones tomorrow. Do not miss it. Paul and Neil, do you know what I mean? Tomorrow we can all do it and it feels amazing. So see you tomorrow for a bit of this. Lots of love. Bye.